this is the first in the series where I will be reading to you from my journals. And I'm going to be pulling from 25 years of these journal entries, but I thought I would begin by reading you what I wrote last night. I feel so far away from that world, even far away from yearning to be a part of that world. That yearning used to be relentless, deeply painful, insistent. It never left me. This haunting pull, like I wouldn't be truly alive or fully myself until I made it happen. A life, a daily existence engrossed in creating art and performing, exploring my creative offerings and sharing them with the world. Making a significant impact on people's lives by deeply moving them, shaking their world up, piercing their shields, awakening their dormant innermost desires and curiosities, spawning reflection and inspiring action, a seismic shift in perspective and an undeniable jolt to their system. Why? I ask myself as I write out these words. Why does the impact I have on the world around me have to be so immense? Why has there always been this expectation that I fulfill this larger than life role in this actual life? Why has the scope and scale of my mission, my dreams, what has always felt to be my calling, why has it asked me to rise to an inhumane occasion? All those years feeling like I was carrying the whole world on my shoulders. And as I write these words out, I hear the script of what I have found to be true, or at least how I made sense of it all. All of this to myself over the years. The extreme martyr complex and responsibility I felt to change the world in such a big way. This identity that I adopted back when I was a little girl. From that moment, I could start understanding that each human life begins with a crapshoot, one they have no influence over, a roll of the dice, and out we come in whatever family we've been born into, whatever rung of the socioeconomic system we hang on, the geographical location, the belief system, the historical and cultural context, our physical body, our brain chemistry, all of these qualifiers, quantifiers, conditions, weighed and measured before we even have the wherewithal to hold our own head up. This chance and circumstance became apparent to me early on as soon as I could see and feel the difference between myself and the others around me, my family, and the majority of other people I saw. This sensation paired with the fact that I happened to find myself in a good family. It colored the lens through which I viewed the world and my place within it. The luck of the draw, my heightened awareness of just how fortunate I had been, would not allow me to take one single thing for granted. Clean water, a good home, a loving mother and father, my doting brother, and my dear sister, who would come later. She was just another unexpected gift. My parents had my brother and then wanted to have another child. But after a while of trying, they thought they were unable to conceive again. So they just decided to adopt. My mom happened upon some random article or notice in the local paper one day about all the Korean babies that needed a home, and she just went to an informational meeting. They went through the process, and then one day my name matched up with their names on some list or at least that's the image I always had in my mind. The luck of the draw. I could have been given to any other family, but I was given to my mom and my dad. I could have come out missing a limb or with some congenital heart disease, but I came out healthy with all 5 senses and all 4 limbs. All of these things that shaped my life, I always thought of as gifts, gifts that plenty of other babies did not receive upon exiting the womb. And so from that moment on, the moment I realized how fortunate I was, just by chance, it was in that moment that I strung this superhero cape around my neck, this duty to save as many people as I possibly could from the misfortune that had happened upon them from no doing of their own. Those who were suffering, facing injustice, mistreatment, and a lack of love, of being seen, heard, and knowing the sense of belonging, of safety, of hope, of connection. This is why I ended up seeking out ways to devote myself and my energy to providing all of those things to anyone, those most marginalized and forgotten in this world, the elderly, those with disabilities, the innocent, children. This is why I thought it was my job to lead a revolution, or at least be a part of one, to overturn our government and eradicate all war. This is why I studied in depth how this world had become so fucked up, and all the thinkers and activists who proposed another way, those who envisioned and articulated how it could be this world more just, less greedy, and how we could design a world that honored the most beautiful parts of humanity, not the most abhorrent. But eventually that cape, it began to choke those very beautiful parts of myself right out of me. My militant approach to saving the world would end up alienating me from friends and family, and even worse, denying me my own right to just live, to just be here, and to enjoy those gifts I had been so fortunately gifted. I can't say that I figured it all out on my own. No. The world made it very clear how my ideals in the world of peace and justice and opportunity and care that I had so fervently been fighting for was up against certain undeniable truths. For one, there has always been war since the beginning of mankind. And no matter how hard I fight, I will never be able to bring peace and justice and fulfillment and opportunity and love to all those who were not as lucky as I. These truths were a bitch to accept and fought to the near death of me. After so many years of carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders, of being choked by that cape, the pain became too much to bear. On top of my martyr complex, turns out I had also been gifted with mental illness from the woman that brought me into the world. I had always just accepted the persistence of my pain and depression as my lot in life. I thought, just as I was gifted love, clean water, food, shelter, and opportunity, so too was I burdened with immense pain for all those suffering in the world. I thought that my abyss of empathy was an inherent, inescapable part of my being. But when it finally became too much to endure, I learned otherwise. Just another luck of the draw. The first therapist and psychiatrist I found would ultimately save my life. I remember the first morning I woke up and felt the sensation of just being. No intense depression, empathy, pressure, anxiety, weight, overwhelm, or duty to be a certain way. I just was. I remember thinking, oh my God, this must be what it feels like to be a normal person, to wake up and just be. I had never experienced anything like it before. And I wasn't numb or unnaturally happy, nor consumed by the plague of what I had previously thought was just the hand I was dealt. I just was alive, breathing, and present. That was nearly a decade ago. And now here I am, still alive and breathing. The desire to give back to this world what I was so fortunately gifted still lingers. But instead of choking me, it kind of just walks alongside me. It's almost like it's having its own identity crisis. And as we walk hand in hand, I'm just listening intently and wondering what will happen next.